Hello friends. This tragic story unfolded on the territory of the Leningrad region. A 40-year-old man living with his parents was the owner of a faithful four-legged friend named Serega. For 14 years, this dog has remained a devoted companion for his family. At some point, the owner came to the conclusion that Sergei's time had come to an end, and his days should end. With that thought in mind, he left the dog at the railroad crossing. The driver, who saw an unusual object on the tracks, made attempts to warn of possible danger by giving sound signals. He hoped that if it was a living creature, it would leave the danger zone. At this time, Serega meekly accepted his fate, sitting motionless with his head down, without any signs of anxiety. Many abandoned and weak animals wander along the roads every day, and only a few of them are lucky enough to meet a man with a kind heart, as in this story. The driver, realizing that the animal was not going off the rails, managed to assess the situation in time and began emergency braking. Thanks to his reaction, the train stopped just a meter away from Serega, whose eyes reflected gratitude and a bit of hope. A railway employee recorded the incident on camera, released the dog and informed the police about the situation, and then returned to his direct duties, since the tight schedule of work on the railway does not tolerate delays. Soon, law enforcement officers joined the investigation, who promptly arrived at the scene. At the same time, the parents of the dog's owner anxiously searched for Serega. In the morning, they realized that their pet was missing, but they could not start looking for him right away, as they were in a hurry to work. They asked for help from volunteers and all concerned people. And while the assistants organized search groups, the dog returned home on his own. It is unclear if he was aware of his master's betrayal, or perhaps he felt he had nowhere else to go. At the same time, the police were looking for a man who had abused a dog. He was charged under the article on cruel treatment of animals. When he was discovered and questioned about the motives for such a desperate act, he justified himself with a simple statement: "Sergei has outlived his time." The initiative and actions of the driver, who was presented with the award, made it possible to save the life of this defenseless animal's soul and avoid disruption of the railway system. Now it remains to be hoped that Serega will be able to live the remaining days in peace. And we believe that his senior owners will never allow this to happen again.